It's the oldest continuous rivalry in the state of Georgia as the Gordon Lee Trojans travel to Trion to take on the Bulldogs on Simpa Friday Night Rivals presented by North Georgia Toyota on the CW Chattanooga. Hello, everybody. Alongside Scott McMahon, I'm Chris Goforth. Glad to have you with us tonight. And Scott, it's great to be back together again. Another season of Friday Night Rivals here on the CW Chattanooga. And man, what a way to kick it off.
I know. We've heard about this rivalry for years and just so excited to get it finally on TV with our Friday Night Rivals. So going to be interesting. These two communities are very small, but they really don't like each other, Chris. I think it's going to be intense.
I hope you got your roster ready for Gordon Lee because we ended the season last year with the Trojans, but this football team looks a lot different than the senior-laden team that we saw a season ago.
They had Dustin Day at quarterback. They had Peyton Gross at running back, experience, a lot of snaps throughout their careers. So now you're going to see a Gavin Gibson at quarterback have to step up, and also Logan Price at running back. But one of their better players is the Sean Harms Benefeld. This guy's all over the place. Defensive end, tight end. He can do a little bit of everything. So you expect him to have a big night if Gordon Lee's going to be successful.
Trion, the team with a returning starter at quarterback, and looking forward to seeing what he can do. They're going to put the ball in his hands and see how it works offensively.
Link Allen, a dual threat guy. He can throw it, but he also can run. He's got some great wheels. And their running back is Landon Kimball, who they're expecting big things from too. Both those guys are two-year starters, so expect the experience to probably wear down Gordon Lee, but we'll see what happens tonight.
Scott, early season, the heat is always a factor. That's going to be the case tonight as well. Also, both coaches this week talked to us about making sure this game was not too big for their respective teams.
Exactly, because you got a lot of new starters that have never really been in this rivalry, especially with all the weight on their shoulders. So we'll see how they can handle that from a young man's perspective.
For more on tonight's matchup, let's send it down to the field. And our Mr. Handyman of Chattanooga keys to the game as we send it down to the newest member of our Friday Night Rivals crew. Julie Anaghetti joins us.
Thanks, Chris, for your keys to the game. Gordon Lee needs to forget last year. 11-win team. And they need to stay focused. This is a huge rivalry. So they don't need to get in over their heads and stick to the task at hand. They also need to lean on the offensive line. They have 3 returning starters up front, and they need to have success to ground them. It will be loud due to the rivalry. They need to get tackles for losses on defense. Gordon Lee is going to rely heavily on the run game, so they need to get tackles for losses, and it will put Gordon Lee behind the sticks. And finally, they need to let Lee, as the returning quarterback, with his expertise and playing with a big group of playmakers. And that is your Mr. Handyman of Chattanooga. Keys to the game. Back to you.
All right, thank you very much. We've got our Sockwell kickoff coming up. We'll also get a look at our Tennessee Army National Guard coin toss. We'll play football to begin the 2026 season when we return. Simpa Friday Night Rivals presented by North Georgia Toyota on the CW Chattanooga.
We'll do that. Like I said, this is the same spot as the first read, and it was fine. Yeah. Might be the crowd. Maybe the crowd filled up more. I don't know. But we'll make sure to do that for the next one. Thank you. There's an imaginary box. An imaginary box I cannot go into. That's where the refs go. See that white line? It runs all the way.
Correction on the coin toss. Bulldogs will be kicking off. Kicking off for the Bulldogs will be number 33, Mesner Perez. Back in for the Trojans, number 4, Braxton Daniel.
Tonight and all season, the Tennessee Army National Guard will join us for the coin toss, and we'll hear from them coming up later on in the show. Gordon Lee, they won the coin toss. The Trojans elected to defer, so we're going to see this Trion offense to start the game tonight, and their quarterback in Link Allen taking the field. Trion coached by Sean Patrick. Bulldogs coming off, it's kind of their second emotional week in a row, Scott, as they had a scrimmage last week against Chattooga County, kind of their in-county crosstown rival, as they hooked up a week ago and had a huge turnout for that game.
That's atmosphere practice as much as it is anything else, right?
Mesner Perez kicking off. It's a high kick, and it's taken on the Softwell kickoff back at the 20-yard line. Gets out to around the 22 or the 23-yard line. It was Dylan Curry on the return. And this Trion offense led by the quarterback in Link Allen, a returning starter. We mentioned that scrimmage last week against Chattooga County. How about 250 first half yards last week for him?
Like we said, he can run, he can throw, but here we go. The Gordon Lee offense out there. Gavin Gibson, as we mentioned, a first-year starter, replaced Dustin Day from last year. Logan Price, their running back, and one of the receivers they lean on heavily for the Trojans would be Cooper Childs, 18, and Connor Jenkins. But 45, their tight end, Sean Harms Benefeld, is the guy to look out for, number 45.
And here's the option to the left side, and Gavin Gibson has got first down yardage out across the 35, and the fumble was recovered there by Braxton Daniel.
He called it down before the fumble happened, but nice little first play to start the game.
That's a Songer Dentistry first down. We can look at our Casey Custom Ducks defense. So for the Trion Bulldogs, Sean Patrick feels really good about his defensive line. He likes the depth that he's got there.
So a guy you want to look at is 36 Coleman Lee. He's their leader at linebacker and really a solid tackler.
They'll run with the first back through the hole. It's Hiram Hasty, and Hasty caught from behind. Somebody just grabbed a handful of jersey and they held on as Hasty finally pulls down, not before he gets about 9 yards.
Coach told us that they're going to rotate their running backs pretty much every 3 plays. So Hiram Hasty gets his first carry of the game for Gordon Lee.
Ball moves up to the 46-yard line, brings up just second down and 1. It is the opening drive for Gordon Lee. Here's the toss sweep. They go back to Curry. And Curry gets the first down out near midfield before he's chased out of bounds over on the far side.
So Gordon Lee's going to rely on their experience up front on their offensive line. So you see right here, the running back goes right to the middle, and then it's a toss sweep to the left. And Dylan Curry with the carry, as you mentioned. So a little misdirection to get the defense off, back on their heels a little bit. And again, the Songer Dentistry first down. Gordon Lee's moving the football pretty methodically at this point in time.
This offensive line does have some experience. Gavin Gibson comes up under center, and here comes the penalty flag. But this offensive line for Gordon Lee, Scott, they've done a good job here in the early going.
Yeah, they have. They really have.
Prior to the snap, offside defense, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
They pushed back that Trion defensive front, who's got a little size to him. 230, 240, 230 across the front with Haynes, Morales, and Lynham.
Will Chambers, a returning starter at left tackle, and both guys on the right side are returners, Eli Hasty and Will Slatton, the guard and the tackle over there.
Hasty's got a little nastiness to him, too.
The keeper again for Gibson. He'll make the turn upfield. He gets close to the first down. Given the 40, he needs to get just inside the 40-yard line to pick up that first down.
Owen Martz was one of the guys on the tackle. Max Sagram, the other one. Here you get another look at it. Physical. Look at that shot. There's another one. We're ready to hit tonight.
Part of the keys to the game tonight. They want that Gordon Lee wants to be able to run the ball, and the tackles for loss would be key in this game for trying to kind of take Gordon Lee a little bit out of their offensive system.
So far, not so good on that. Now second and just about one.
Logan Price, who took over last year as a starter, and ended up with 800 yards. And here's Gibson to throw for the first time. He's going for 6, and it's tipped away.
Well played by Max Segrin, the cornerback, 5'8", 130, junior. Very physical guy, but he showed his athleticism on that, getting the hand up right before the receiver was about to catch the football. Not a bad throw from Gavin Gibson, just well played defensively by number 9, Max Segrin.
So it brings up a 3rd down and short. This will bring the fans on the home side to their feet. Gordon Lee had been run, kind of pound it between the tackles and then try to throw it over your head.
And those Gordon Lee fans are going to be super excited when the sun goes down because they've been in that sun directly for quite a while.
Braxton Daniel goes in motion. Gibson, the keeper, the first down inside the 35-yard line. Ball again comes free, but it's recovered at around the 32. I believe it was Connor Jenkins that fell on it.
Yeah, Jenkins 15 did definitely fall on it, but not before a Songer Dentistry first down. Let's get another look at it. Takes a jet sweep right up the gut. And man, Gavin Gibson does run hard. He transferred in to Gordon Lee about mid-season last year. So he got the opportunity to be a tutelage under Dustin Day, their quarterback that graduated last year. They had such a tremendous senior year.
Coach Josh Gross told us he feels like Gibson has been able to take control of this offense. And here he hands it off on the jet sweep. That's Braxton Daniel. And we've got penalty flags.
All right, let's see what they got.
Illegal formation on the offense. 5 men in the backfield. Replay. First down.
Scott, you talked about it earlier about how good this Gordon Lee team was last year. They had 8 straight games at one point a season ago, scoring at least 41 points.
Man, they were really, really good.
They beat their region opponents by an average of 48-11.
Whew.
But as you alluded to, they lost about 90% of their offensive production from last year, including 2 1,200-yard rushers and a quarterback that threw 21 touchdown passes. Gibson under pressure, and Gibson will be sacked back at the 45. That's Hudson Thomas.
Hudson Thomas. Coach told us one thing he does, he creates havoc plays, and you saw one right there. He just got in Gavin Gibson's face quickly. 6 feet tall, 195 pounds. Get another look at it here. He explodes off the football on the offense, or the line of scrimmage, I should say, and just goes straight at Gavin Gibson. It is Hudson Thomas, a senior, makes backside plays too, so he's known to kind of walk a running back down if they do some sort of sweep.
There's the tackle for loss now. Sets up a 2nd down and 22 for Gordon Lee. Football is back at the 44-yard line. And Gibson with a handoff to Logan Price, and Price is snuffed out immediately. Shooting through and making the stop is Frank Carrillo.
Frank Carrillo, a real smart player. He's the one that makes calls and gets the defense set up. 5'10", 190-pound junior. Inside linebacker, and he was all over the ball carrier on that play.
We've seen Gavin Gibson put it up deep once already in this drive. 10th play of this drive now for the Trojans. Faced with a 3rd down and 20.
Yeah.
Gibson going to take a shot left side.
Whoa.
Complete, and he comes down with it. Great catch by Cooper Childs.
What an incredible catch. Cooper Childs, a sophomore. Best hands on the team, and he showed you right there. He's really good at creating separation, which you saw on that play too. Let's get another look at it. That was one heck of a catch, especially from a 10th grader. One-on-one with the defender, gets enough jump up to catch the football. Helmet comes off, so we'll have to come out of the game for a play, but into the Dr. Pepper maroon zone.
At the 14-yard line, it's a Songer Dentistry 1st down. As Gordon Lee converts on a 3rd down and 20. Well, Coach Josh Gross told us in our conversation this week that he had a good arm, and he's shown it off tonight. Big throw and catch back on the ground with Price between the tackles. Give him about the 10-yard line by the time they mark off the forward progress.
And the thing that if you're trying to frustrate you is obviously Gordon Lee shot themselves in the foot with a penalty. You get it to 3rd and 20, way behind the sticks as far as down and distance, and then you give up a 3rd and 20 for the first down. But now you got to bow your neck a little bit if you're trying Bulldogs and at least keep them out of the end zone and try to get a field goal attempt. But man, Gordon Lee has been impressive, and that offensive line is so experienced. As you mentioned, Eli Hasty, Will Slayton on the right side, but Will Chambers is another guy that started last year, 6'3", 220 at left tackle, number 54.
Gibson brings a man in motion. They go back with Hasty, Hiram Hasty, and he is stuffed right at the line of scrimmage.
Cam Haynes got him low, and Frank Carrillo got him high. Haynes, 6', 230, defensive tackle.
Brings up another 3rd down, Scott. 3rd and 7 now from just outside the 10-yard line. This is the opening drive of the game. It is play 13 for Gordon Lee, as the Trojans have milked this first quarter clock for 6.5 minutes on this 13-play drive.
Talk about executing a game plan on possession number 1, drive number 1, and game number 1 of a season.
They've converted a 3rd and 20 to get here. Gibson, the keeper, finds room. Gibson hit, bounces down to the 5, give him the 4-yard line.
Landon Kimball on the stop from outside linebacker position. Kimball's a 5'10", 180-pound junior.
How about 4th down and a long one now, Scott, at the 5.
I mean, you got to rely on those big men up front if you're Gordon Lee, just like we talked about.
They have done the job. Cody Paglino, the left guard, he did not start last year. He was a defensive lineman a year ago. They move him over to the offensive side. But this is a group that has some experience. Out of the wing tee. The sneak by Gibson, a push by Hiram Hasty, and it's enough for the first down. And this will set Gordon Lee up now with a first down and goal to go. Another Songer Dentistry first down.
And you called it, man. Cody Paglino and Jared Kazai, both the center and the left guard, was who Gavin Gibson was running behind to pick up that first down. And just remember, folks, if you're just tuning in, Trion hadn't touched the football. I mean, this has been all Gordon Lee.
Hasty in the backfield. That's Braxton Daniel on a wing to the left side, and it's Daniel that comes in motion. And here's the give. It goes to Hasty, whoa, and Hasty stuffed for no gain.
Man, you talk about a host of Bulldogs. Jeez, you got Frank Carrillo, you got Dawson Crane. There's another 2 or 3 guys in on that tackle. Just a wall he ran into.
16th play of this drive, Scott. A 16-play drive to open up the game.
No, we got a record at Sail Creek. What was it, like 19?
Wasn't it? I think so.
I think it was 19-play drive.
Yeah. 2nd down and 3rd. From the 3-yard line. Curry in motion. The give again, the push. And he's going to be down shy of the goal line. They'll mark him down at the 1.
Price was the ball carrier. Great effort and really good effort from the Trion defense. As you mentioned, he's marked down at the 1. And 3rd and goal.
Well, they've moved the ball back now. According to the scoreboard, it's back at the 2-yard line. And the clock rolls under 3 minutes in this first quarter. Trion is yet to have the ball. Gibson back under center in the wing. The snap, the quarterback sneak. Does he get there? They're going to mark him down this time at the 1-yard line, so it becomes 4th down. Gordon Lee with a 4th and 1 from the 1.
This is just crazy. 9.5 minute drive to start the game. And the reason I say that is because typically in game ones, people are nervous, everything, you know, it's a first game of the season, a lot of jitters, and there's mistakes made. I've only seen 1 or 2 out here so far, and like you mentioned, Trion hasn't even touched the football yet, and we're heading towards 10 minutes.
That play clock winding down. It is at 5. Gordon Lee going to ask for the timeout here. And they will, as they let the play clock tick all the way down. Breaking the action, we'll step aside. 4th and goal from the 1 for Gordon Lee when we return right after this on SIMPA Friday Night Rivals, presented by North Georgia Toyota on the CW Chattanooga.
Special thanks to the Taylor family for your strong and lasting relationship with Trion Athletics. Taylor Construction, a partner you can count on. Take time to visit the main concession, now sponsored by the Pride of Trion Marching Band, for all kinds of food, including french fries, nachos, hamburgers, Chick-fil-A chicken sandwiches, and all kinds of candy. Also, you can visit our snack shack, now sponsored by the Bulldog Athletic Club. Treats are cooking now on this hot Friday night, including snow cones, cold drinks, ice cream, and pickleballs.
Stick around for our halftime report presented by United RV. We'll hear from our friends at SIMPA. Scoreless first quarter. Gordon Lee with their 18th play of this opening drive. They have milked this clock for nearly 10 minutes. And they have a 4th down and goal to go at the 1-yard line. What a drive, Scott. They've converted a 3rd and 20.
Yeah.
They've had 1 penalty on this drive. They've had a 1 quarterback sack, which is, I believe, been their only play for negative yardage on this drive, but an 18-play drive, and they'll look to punch it in here from a yard out.
And Coach Josh Gross told us, when we talked to him early in the week, that we have to rely on that experience up front. And if that means 4 yards in a cloud of dust, then that's what we're going to do. And clearly, Gavin Gibson, their quarterback, Logan Price, also Hiram Hasty, as you mentioned in there, feel real comfortable running behind those big guys.
We have seen them line up in a kind of a tight wing formation and run Gibson or run Hiram Hasty. Do you put it up here?
Well, I don't know. If you faked it, little play action, I'll bet the whole defense would bite. But how confident are you in your receivers, Braxton Daniel, Connor Jenkins, Cooper Childs? Maybe this is your chance to hit the tight end, Sean Holmes Benefield, who's one of your more athletic players with a big high football IQ.
Well, I guess we're going to find out.
He's number 45, so we'll see. Yep.
Gibson comes under center. Logan Price will be his tailback. Braxton Daniel, Dylan Curry, the wings. Gibson.
Oh, nice
Curry,
play.
touchdown.
Nice play. Misdirection, got him. Wasn't through the air for the Patriot touchdown. Well executed. Once again, I'm just impressed with the lack of sloppiness here on the first possession by Gordon Lee. Gibson had his foot grabbed by the defender, and he still was able to hand it off to Dylan Curry. Gets into the end zone essentially untouched.
Out to attempt the extra point, it's Ira Grimes. 10 minutes and 1 second off the clock on an 18-play drive for Gordon Lee. The extra point is up, and it is good, and it is 7-0. Gordon Lee with a lead, trying to get the ball for the first time tonight. When we return, SIMPA Friday Night Rivals presented by North Georgia Toyota on the CW Chattanooga. Chris Goforth, Scott McMahon with you from Trion tonight for the oldest continuous rivalry in the state of Georgia. Gordon Lee with a 7-0 lead, an 18-play drive, 16 run plays, 2 pass plays, and they punch it in for the score. Grimes to kick it off. And a fair catch is called for and made at about the 24-yard line, and that's where Trion will go to work on offense.
Lane Broom's the guy that had the fair catch there, so yeah, pretty decent field position for the Bulldogs.
Talk about this rivalry and its history. It is, again, the longest continuous rivalry in Georgia. Josh Gross, the head coach at Trion, he was the defensive coordinator he was the head coach at Gordon Lee. He was the defensive coordinator at Trion. As you get a look at that Trion offense, we're going to see Link Allen, the returning starter at quarterback. Giancarlos Morales, the most experienced player on that offensive line.
Morales 5'10", 240. Landon Kimbrell, their running back, also a guy that they got to rely on. Kimbrell 5'10", 180.
We've got a whistle and a penalty flag.
Looked like a potentially a little sweet to Dawson.
Prior to
Crane.
snap infraction, offense. Still first down.
So they'll try it again after the mark off of the penalty. Allen, the keeper. And Allen finds some room. Allen gets out across the 30. He's chased out of bounds.
Levi Mitchum pushes him out of bounds, but not until they get the Songer Dentistry first down. Let's take another look at it. Link Allen, really a big guy. He listed at 6'1", 180, but he kind of plays bigger than that, I think. And one thing you'll notice about this stadium here, Sam R. McCain Stadium, is the bleachers are right on top of you. There is not much space on the sideline. Those fans can be right on top of you, which really, it's a cool atmosphere, but sometimes if you're running, out of bounds, you can run into that wall pretty quickly.
Here's the handoff on the delay. Landon Kimball, and Kimball spun down across the 35, give him the 36-yard line. Josh Gross, the head coach at Gordon Lee, told us this week he feels like Trion is one of the toughest places to go play for exactly what you talked about, Scott.
Yep.
That's our KC Custom Docks Gordon Lee defense. You see Sean Harms Benefell, the defensive end. They say he is the best defensive lineman. Logan Price, a returning starter on this defense as well, and Levi Mitchum that made the stop on the previous play, your middle linebacker.
19, Coy Waller is a freshman. Fastest kid on the team is a 9th grader.
Kimball, stop shy of the 40, give him the 39. Bring up a third down. Dylan Curry, he of the touchdown a few moments ago, getting it done defensively as well, making the stop. Well, one thing that Gordon Lee was able to do on an 18-play drive to open this game was convert third downs. Let's see if Trion can do the same to keep their drive alive as we've rolled under 1 minute left in the first. Gordon Lee held the ball for over 10 minutes on that opening possession. Allen with an empty backfield, and there's movement up front. It was Price that jumped.
Had stacked receivers on both sides. And
Encroachment against the defense. 5-yard penalty.
Going to be enough for the first down.
That is enough. Thought there for a moment he might be still a little bit short. This will be enough for the first down as the ball moves up to the 44. Trion, a squad a season ago, very inexperienced, had to play a lot of young guys. They are back now. Here's the quick throw into the flats, complete. First down and more down the far sidelines into Trojan territory and popped out of bounds.
Connor Jenkins makes the stick, a junior, first-year starter. Jenkins, but as you mentioned, Trion gets a tremendous pitch and catch.
TK Smith, the receiver.
TK Smith, 5'7", 135. very fast, though, as you might imagine, for the junior. Showed speed on that play, really.
Scott, that's going to be the final play of the first quarter. 1 quarter in the book, and Gordon Lee has the 7-0 lead over Trion. Stay with us. We'll return back to Sam R. McCain Stadium at Clarence Blevins Field at Trion High School on Simpa Friday Night Rivals on the CW Chattanooga, presented by North Georgia Toyota.
Television timeout.
Back on Simpa Friday Night Rivals, presented by North Georgia Toyota here on the CW Chattanooga. It is Gordon Lee and Trion tonight as we kick off our 2026 season. Gordon Lee took the opening kickoff. They took it 18 plays down the field. They stuck it in for the score, and that's how we got to this 7-0 total. Tonight's halftime report brought to you by United RV. We'll have a recap of the first half of action here at Trion, plus we'll catch up with the Tennessee Army National Guard. That is all coming up at the half. Trion hands it off, and again it's Landon Kimball that is stuffed right at the line of scrimmage. They'll give him a gain of a yard, and we get this second quarter underway. Again, Gordon Lee with that 18-play drive. They took 10 minutes and 1 second off the clock, so Trion was only able to run 4 plays in the first quarter. They had to convert a third down. They did it by penalty on a 3rd and 1. Gordon Lee scored their touchdown on a 4th and 1. Bulldogs on the march now from the Trojan 39-yard line. And again, Gordon Lee jumps up front. That defensive line, a little antsy, Scott.
Yeah, they were. And it might be the quarterback's cadence, too, that is able to draw him off sides.
On the defense, 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
I guarantee you Trion will take it.
Trion coached by Sean Patrick. He's originally from Southeast Georgia. Has moved around the state. As a matter of fact, when Jake Fromm, the former Georgia quarterback, was in high school, Sean Patrick was his offensive coordinator. He's been at Trion since 2020. The Wildcat on the snapback. Kimball, first down and more, but a penalty flag on the far side of the field. So hold on. This may be a false start.
Freshman Coy Waller was on the tackle there.
We'll call it the common spirit first down, but hang on. Chuck Christopher, our white hat tonight.
against the Bulldogs.
So the 5 that they gained.
Illegal shift on the offense. Still second down. Huh?
Is now back to the line of scrimmage before the 2 penalties back and forth. That Landon Kimball now, he had a little burst through there. See that on the replay. It was 5'10", 180 pounds.
Started the last 6 games of the season a year ago for Trion and amassed over 800 yards of offense in those 6 games. We haven't seen it from him tonight, but they say he's a good receiver coming out of the backfield. He stays in on the right hip of his quarterback in Link Allen. Second down and 9 after the mark off for the penalty. Allen, the rollout. Allen, first down. Second down and 9, and Link Allen shows off the wheels, gets the first down on the far sideline.
Common spirit first down. Yes, great vision, really a nice call and well executed by Link Allen. Look at it again. He rolls out, getting pressure big time from Dylan Curry. He knows where that first down marker is and makes the dive at the end to ensure that he gets it.
He was looking downfield. He was pass first the whole way, but it wasn't there. 7th play of this drive for Trion. And the snap back. And they'll take it straight ahead. Gets down to the 20-yard line. Now the wide receiver for Trion down at the bottom of the screen. I don't know if you could see it, but there was a wide receiver.
Yeah.
There was nobody lined up opposite him.
Actually, it was Link Allen. Lined up at the wide receiver position, came in motion, I guess. You can't see it. It's down here to the right, low right corner because they're running Wildcat. So he goes out there, and the Gordon Lee defense never even saw it. Probably thought he was running off the field. He was unbelievably wide open, and Trion just couldn't take advantage of it.
Here's Allen, the give. Kimball. And he'll drive those legs forward. He gets another common spirit first down.
Tackle made by Braxton Daniel. And also Dylan Curry from his Sam linebacker position.
Neither team in a real big hurry tonight, Scott, in terms of how they want to play offensively.
I think both want to, talked about coming in here and saying, one of our priorities is going to be to chew some clock. Well, they've done a really good job of chewing clock so far.
3 minutes, over 3 minutes now gone in the second quarter. Allen will keep it. Link Allen cuts it up inside. Allen on his feet and out of bounds. Not before, though, he can get inside the 10-yard line.
Connor Jenkins got him down with the tackle, free safety. Coach tells us he's got great instincts. Well, you see 15 right here come right to the ball and make the stop before, really was inside the 5-yard line, I guess. And a first down, as you said, common spirit first down.
Gordon Lee with an 18-play drive for their score. Here's Trion now looking at a 1st and goal from the 4, and this will be the 10th play for the Bulldogs inside the Dr. Pepper maroon zone now. They shift to a strong side right. And here's Kimball hit in the backfield, breaks away from one.
Wow.
Ball comes free. And it looks like Trion is able to hold on to it. It's Dawson Crane that came up with the ball.
Kane recovered the fumble for sure. Get another look at it. Big contact, great penetration from Logan Price. A little bit of an undersized defensive end when he made the initial contact. He's known for his quickness. 5'10", 155 on the defensive line. You don't usually see somebody that small, but that's the whole point. He is way quicker than a tackle's going to be, so he can make penetration in the backfield and almost had the ball carrier on that play.
That might have been Connor Jenkins that ripped it out. Here's Allen to the corner. Allen, touchdown. Trion is an extra point attempt away from tying the game with less than 8 to play in the second quarter.
Link Allen, as we said, Patriot touchdown. Link Allen, 6'1", 180 senior. Started last year for him, battled injuries. He's a dual threat, explosive kind of guy, and he shows his speed on this play. That's just a straight quarterback keeper sweep. And the Gordon Lee defense, including Braxton Daniel, couldn't get to him before Link Allen puts him in the end zone.
Mesner Perez on to attempt the extra point and tie this game. There's the snap, the spot, the kick. It is all good, and we are tied up at 7. 7:59 remaining. Get a look at it on the replay. Link Allen cooking in the first half. Trojans and Dogs all knotted at 7. Simpa Community Care, Friday Night Rivals, presented by North Georgia Toyota on the CW Chattanooga. Trion goes 76 yards in 11 plays. Link Allen, the quarterback, with the keeper into the end zone to tie the game at 7. 7:59 remaining in this first half. Having a good time at Trion tonight. It's always great to see cheerleaders get excited with our Smile Cam, sponsored by Songer Dentistry.
Look, they all have perfect teeth. That's excellent. Thank you, Songer.
It's like we planned it that way.
No, everybody's excited for high school football. Week 1, getting it underway. Cheerleaders, band, coaches, players, everybody involved, man. It's a cool time of year.
7:59 left in the first half. Each team has had the ball one time.
I know, it's insane. It's insane.
Unbelievable. Time for our Sockwell kickoff. As Gordon Lee will have Braxton Daniel, Cooper Child, and Dylan Curry back deep. See if any of those guys get a chance to return this kick off the foot of Mesner Perez. Perez. It's a line drive. This will be rolling into the end zone. Curry couldn't scoop it up. He let it go into the end zone for the touchback. So Gordon Lee will take over. Last possession for the Trojans, if you weren't with us, they held the football for nearly the entire first quarter. They had it for more than 10 minutes. 10 minutes and 1 second. They ran 18 plays and took the 7-0 lead. It was scored the touchdown. Trion would come back with an impressive drive of their own, covering 11 plays. And now we see the Trojans touch it for the second time tonight. They begin here at their own 20. Gibson has the sophomore Hiram Hasty behind him in the backfield. And it's Hasty straight ahead. He'll break some tackles. Tough running by the sophomore out across the 26-yard line.
Hudson Thomas made initial contact and then followed up. Oh, so you're going to have Hasty come out of the game. But watch this initial contact by number 0, Hudson Thomas. But then he just keeps on keeping on His teammates able to help him out. Frank Carrillo, 54 in there. And it's funny because, you know, we talk about these two communities being similar to each other, but these two football teams are similar to each other too. They want to do the same thing, that's for sure, and keep possession of the football.
Logan Price. And Price stopped just shy of the first down sticks. Looks like he's going to be about a yard short. We'll call it 3rd down and 1. Price, a guy that we saw in some limited action a season ago. He's a player that's kind of had to wait his turn here at Gordon Lee, but certainly expected to make the most of it this year. Third down and 1 for the Trojans at their own 29-yard line. Here's the give. The jet sweep making the turn. First down and more. Caught from behind. Penalty flag comes out at around the 40-yard line as Gordon Lee went with Joey Vaughna on the sweep.
Common Spirit first down, but maybe not. Let's see here. A call from the white hat, Chuck Christopher.
It looks like Gordon Lee's backing up here, so looks like this will go against the Trojans.
Holding on the offense. 10-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
You go from a 3rd down and 1 to now it's going to become 3rd down and 6. But a nice run on the jet sweep. Gordon Lee again in no hurry to snap this ball. Play clock is down to 2, down to 1. Did they get the timeout called in time? They did. Is that the second for Gordon Lee? It is. That is
timeout. Gordon Lee.
2 timeouts for Gordon Lee in this first half.
This timeout is brought to you courtesy of Pro Roof Georgia.
Both teams will huddle up. Give us a chance to step aside as well. Halfway through the second quarter, we're tied at 7. Gordon Lee faced with a 3rd and 5 when we return. We're back after this on the SEMPA Friday Night Rivals, presented by North Georgia Toyota, here on the CW Chattanooga. Yeah, I got nothing. I don't know. I don't. I thought you guys were keeping those in the truck. SEMPA Friday Night Rivals presented by North Georgia Toyota here on the CW Chattanooga. Chris Goforth, Scott McMahon. And the game tied at 7. And Gordon Lee on their second possession. Each team has only had the ball once. Now Gordon Lee has it for the second time. Midway through this second quarter. 3rd down and 5 for the Trojans. Gibson, the lone setback. And we've got a timeout that's asked for, this time by Trion.
Interesting. Probably didn't recognize the formation.
Trion. That is their first charge. Timeout.
As you pointed out, they had all the receivers on the line of scrimmage. Looked like it could be a jet sweep or a fake jet sweep and then a pass. But Trion didn't like what they had defensively against that, so they called a timeout.
Coach Josh Gross from Gordon Lee talked this week about the need for his team to stay focused, not let the moment get too big for them. And Scott, I think they've done that.
I think they have too. I mean, it's amazing to not have as many sloppy mistakes early in the game because of nerves and just a lack of experience. But both these teams really have pulled that off.
Heritage and Ringgold next Friday night. Boy, that is always a classic. It seems like when those two get together. We'll be back at Ringgold next Friday night, 7:30. We'll be on My Network TV next week. So make plans to come be with us. We kick off our season in North Georgia.
I know a lot of people that watch in the state of Tennessee may not know as much about North Georgia rivalries, but certainly this one tonight and that one next week, Heritage Ringgold, you could argue are two of the probably three biggest rivalries in the North Georgia area.
Four receivers split out wide to the bottom of your screen for Gordon Lee. An empty set for Gavin Gibson at quarterback. Gibson to the far side, slips through one tackle, slips through two, and gets the first down.
Wow, great effort by Gibson. That is just amazing. Almost got thrown for a loss, but then he was able to get around the edge for the Common Spirit first down. Let's watch it again here. Nice play. Hayden Lynham gets him out of bounds. Hudson Thomas, that was a 1-0, who almost had him for a loss. But to his credit, Gavin Gibson, head down. I mean, he had that thing tucked as soon as he took the snap. He knew he was gonna be a keeper to the right side. And the Bulldogs trying, couldn't stop it.
They stay in that empty backfield set now with a 1st and 10. Again, the play clock winding down. It's at 4, it's at 3, it's at 2, it's at 1. They get it off just in time, and Gibson in trouble. He is swarmed and covered up in the backfield.
Again, Hudson Thomas, also Hayden Lynham, all over the quarterback, Gavin Gibson. Nice defensive effort from that defensive line to just get into the Trojan backfield immediately. I mean, there's 4 guys right there.
That is something that this Bulldog defense has not been able to do enough of tonight, Scott, and that's get those behind the sticks, those tackles for losses.
Yep. Cam Haynes in on also. I got to give him some credit.
Hiram Hasty on the carry.
He's a quick back, and he found a little seam in the defense and was able to just quickly gain 7 of it back. Nice effort from the sophomore Hiram Hasty.
Sets up a 3rd down and 4. Football out across the 35, make it the 38-yard line. Hasty, a kid with some good speed. He had a 75-yard touchdown run last week in a scrimmage. And here he comes again, straight into the teeth of that Bulldog defense. He'll stretch with the football for the 1st down.
Lane Broom brought the wood to him. But as you mentioned, Hasty just tough enough to lean forward into that 1st down.
Hasty on the carry. Somebody carry the Bulldog defense.
Gordon Lee.
And we're chewing clock. I mean, both these teams, that's what they want to do. It's clear now.
Gordon Lee last year, 11-2 on the year. They lost in the quarterfinals. They averaged 240 yards rushing a game last year, 134-yard passing, and they tied the program record for wins in a season with 11. The give goes to Price.
Coleman Lee on the stop.
We've hit the 4-minute mark of the 2nd quarter. Scott, there is a chance, and I think maybe a good chance, that Trion may only get 1 possession in the first half.
Wow. That would be unbelievable.
9th play of this drive for Gordon Lee. And here's the give again to Price, and Price will drag a tackler out across the 45. Not quite to the 46-yard line, brings up another 3rd down. Trojans have been good tonight on 3rd down.
So we know Trion gets the football to start the 2nd half. So these chances are just limited. I mean, that's what you're saying right there. You better do something while you have the football. And both teams have scored.
Approaching the 3-minute mark of the second quarter. Gibson wants to throw. He's got some time. Pop fly, left side, out of the reach of his intended target in Carson Clark. So it becomes a 4th down. Well, we spoke too soon. It looks like Trion will get another shot at it as you get a look at the Simple Community Care replay.
Carson Clark's 6'3", so he's trying to hang that up and let him high point the football. Unfortunately, it was just thrown a little too far for him. They talk about him. He's a junior, Carson Clark. They love to get him one-on-one with a cornerback, and that's exactly what they were trying to do right there. That was Silas Mills, the cornerback, covering him.
Max Seagram back to return this punt. Braxton Daniels hit it off the side of his foot. It's a short kick and will go out of bounds. And Trion is going to take over here in good field position. So Gordon Lee chews up clock. We're down to exactly 3 minutes left to go in this second quarter. And after a 10-play drive, Gordon Lee forced to punt it away. And Trion will take over. They'll start good field position with 3 minutes remaining at their own 35-yard line.
Big picture stuff, though. If you're trying, you want to get some kind of points on the board here, and then get that opening kickoff for the second half to have 2 back-to-back possessions. Because as we mentioned, the possessions are few and far between tonight.
Scott, we have talked about 90-plus years of tradition when these two teams hook up. It's the oldest continuous rivalry in the state of Georgia, but the Trion Bulldogs going for win number 592 all time tonight if they can pull it off. Here's the sweep around the left side, in trouble, and he is spun into the turf. Landon Kimball had nowhere to go.
Dylan Curry all over it. Also Logan Price in there to clean it up. Get another look at it. Gordon Lee, there's Curry. 20 pops through there, the senior. Loves to use his size and leverage and quickness. I mean, that is about Landon Kimball. Really had no chance. Curry was in his face immediately.
I don't know how many other programs in our area can claim 600 wins. Trion, obviously, you may know that number.
I don't know.
Trion obviously getting close to that now at 591 to begin this season. Allen. Screen. Kimball. Stopped right at the sticks. This will depend on the spot. We'll see if he gets the first down. Well, check that. He gets back to the original line of scrimmage. We'll call it 3rd down and 10. And the clock goes under 2 minutes. What a first half. Gordon Lee with an 18-play drive. Trion answered with an 11-play drive. Gordon Lee had it for 10 plays that didn't score. Now Trion, the Bulldogs, looking to put it together late in this first half. And they may burn the timeout. They will. So each team down to just one timeout for the final minute 21 of the first half as Trion takes their
from the first half.
Second timeout of this half.
This is kind of one of those games you thought it would be, you know, all week long, physical, possession-minded football.
I thought it'd be two teams that would run the ball, Scott. I didn't expect this.
Right.
Hey, we want to take a minute and say thank you to our sponsors that make it possible for us to bring you these games on Friday nights, including Simpa, Scott's Furniture, United RV, North Georgia Toyota, Common Spirit, Patriot Insurance, Keith Hodge Plumbing, and the Tennessee National Guard. But yeah, I think we kind of expected a couple of teams that would try to run the football. I think you and I talked about it this week. We thought tackles for losses would be key for both sides.
Right.
I think both offenses have done a good job tonight staying ahead of the sticks.
Yes,
the issue,
and if they do have one backed up, they've overcome that pretty well.
Yeah, this has been, there's been no big plays. There's been no turnovers. We've seen the ball on the ground a couple of times,
right.
but the offense have been able to recover their own fumbles. So Here we go. 3rd down and 10 for Trion with 1:21. We're in the second quarter. Allen sends a man in motion across the formation. Here he is to throw. Taking a shot downfield, wide open, caught in stride, 1st down on his feet inside the 45-yard line. Give him the 42. What a throw, what a catch, and maybe some better moves afterwards from Landon Kimball. Scott, they told us he was good catching the ball out of the backfield. Watch him here.
Yeah, he looks really good. Landon Kimball, the running back, and then contact made all over the place after the fact, but he gets another 1st down.
1 minute left in the first half. Trion and Gordon Lee all tied at 7. Here's Allen. Move in the pocket, going to take a shot, 1-6. Has a man, it's caught inside the 5-yard line. Brantley Anderson, the 6'3 receiver, went up and got it inside the Dr. Pepper maroon zone. Trion with a timeout and still 52 seconds to go, but what a throw by Link Allen.
That thing was a dart, man. I mean, it came out of his hand perfectly. You can see it right here. Zip on it. And then Brantley Anderson, as you mentioned, 6'3", 170-pound junior. Length on the perimeter. That's exactly what happened there. And Trion took advantage of it.
Clock is running. Here's Gibson, the keeper. Gibson, touchdown. Or Link Allen, rather, the touchdown. And Trion back in front. Behind the legs of Link Allen, his 2nd touchdown this half.
Patriot touchdown for Link Allen, 6'1", 180-pound senior. And Coach was telling us the biggest growth that he's had in this past offseason is his command of the offense. It's really, really improved from his junior year to his senior year. Great arm. We saw that on the dart. But then, of course, he can also beat you with his legs, too. And he just proved that on the touchdown.
Mesner Perez out to attempt the extra point. Trion in the lead. It's 14-7 with 33 seconds left to go. 65 yards, Scott. They needed only 5 plays to do it. The big play was Link Allen to Brantley Anderson.
Great throw, great catch. He just had such a height advantage over the defender.
Good look at it here. Oh, that's the touchdown.
Fake the sweep. Those offensive linemen had their spreads correctly, and Link Allen, just found the hole and put it in the pay dirt.
Well, we thought, based on how he played last week, 250 yards in the first half against Chattooga County in a scrimmage, that they would let Link cook tonight, and they have. He's done it with his arm. He's done it with his legs.
It's been pretty impressive. He's a big enough guy that he can survey the field and do all that good stuff. But as we said, he can beat you with the arm, beat you with his legs. Very, very impressive first half for Link Allen.
The United RV halftime report coming up. We'll get a look at some first half action. Get a look at our scholar athletes as well. It's brought to you by Chattanooga Allergy Clinic. But a good time tonight at Trion. Their Bulldogs with a 14-7 lead. Now Gordon Lee with another opportunity with 33 seconds remaining. We'll see what they can do. It has been a methodical game, but Trion showing some explosiveness. We'll get ready for the Sockwell kickoff. Angled kick, high, taken and returnable inside the 15. Out to around the 22 or 23-yard line, and a phenomenal tackle. It was Dylan Curry on the return, and for Trion, it was Landon Kimball downfield.
Kimball, the starting tailback, makes the tackle, and his pursuit on special teams was something really good there. Kimball's 5'10", 180 pounds. Coach Patrick says he's the most explosive player on their roster. He kind of showed you there with the special teams effort.
So Gordon Lee, if you're just joining us, they had a 10-minute drive to open this game. They ran 18 plays, punched it in for a score. Trion came back with an 11-play drive, covered 76 yards, tied the game at 7. Gordon Lee punted their last possession. Trion took it in from 65 yards on 5 plays and scored. And we've got a timeout that is asked for.
Third and final timeout of the first half.
By Trion, and there you have it. Bulldogs are out of timeouts. Scott, coming up at the half, we'll get a little bit of a recap of some scoring and some highlights. A lot of run plays and a couple of big pass plays.
Yeah.
That's been the story of this game.
It's funny because both coaches told us it's with these two communities fairly close. He said, you know, if you lose this game, it's hard to go to church on Sunday. You hear a lot from the other team that won the game. So
Coach Patrick that told us, he said, you can get away with 1 and 9, but this better be the one, right?
That's right. That's right.
If you're only going to win one, it better be this one. I think both of these teams are going to win more than a couple before this season is over. 1st and 10 for Gordon Lee. Final few seconds of the first half. Gibson to Hiram Hasty. And Hasty gets out shy of the 30.
Stopped by Frank Carrillo. Dawson Crane in there as well. Frank Carrillo, 5'10", 190-pound junior.
They don't have to snap it again if they don't want to.
I don't think they will.
They will not. We are going to go to the half. And it's a 14-7 lead for Trion. The Bulldogs had the football only twice in the first half. Both times they came away with points. Gordon Lee, that opening possession, gave them the 7-0 advantage in what is the oldest continuous rivalry in Georgia high school football. And we have seen it turn into a bit of a slugfest tonight between these two. It's Gordon Lee and Trion fight it out.
Heck yeah.
All right, let's send it down to the field as Juliana Getty standing by with the leading head coach, Sean Patrick from Trion.
Coach Patrick, Trion's 14-7 right now. How are you feeling?
Not real good. We've obviously got to do a better job of getting off the field on 3rd down. I thought we did a good job right there scoring before the half offensively. You know, when it's big, we get the ball back coming out of the half. But, you know, we got to go in there. We got to batten down the hatches. We got to clean up some things and then find a way to close them out.
What do you think needs to happen in order for y'all to win the game tonight?
We've got to continue to be physical. We've got to execute at a high level, and we've got to find a way to hold on to the football. It would be nice to find a way to get a turnover, but we've got to do a better job of getting off the field on 3rd downs, you know, so hopefully we can go in there and kind of remedy that now.
Thanks, Coach.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Back to you, Chris.
All right, thank you very much, Juliana. The United RV halftime report is coming up. We'll get a look at the first half of action here. Our scholar athletes from each school. That's brought to you by Chattanooga Allergy Clinic. Stay with us. It's a 14-7 lead. Trion on top of Gordon Lee. You're watching the SIMPA Friday Night Rivals presented by North Georgia Toyota. Back to the home of the Bulldogs right after this. There is nobody else I would rather put it up with than you, Sheldon.
Yeah, you do. Yeah. So they control the talkback for you. So.
Hey, it's first game for all of us, right?
Hey, y'all helping me get like the picture of the game right here. Look. Got the scoreboard in focus, 14-7, and then y'all are interviewing them.
Oh yeah.
I took a bunch more pictures after that.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Heck yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the field, the Gordon Lee Marching Trojan Band. Tonight, the band will be performing a portion of their 2026 show, Against the Ropes. Selections include now. Drum Major Olivia Wise, is the band ready? You may take the field for your performance.
Simpa Community Care has been a champion of providing health care in the Chattanooga area for nearly 40 years, and we're glad to have them with us this season on Simpa Community Care Friday Night Rivals. Glad to have Apollo with us from Simpa this week to talk a little bit about Simpa Community Care. Apollo, nearly 40 years in business. That is a long time. A lot of things have changed in Chattanooga. A lot has changed in healthcare over the last 40 years as well. Tell us a little bit about the evolution of Simpa Community Care.
It all began in 1986 as Chattanooga Cares, and it was a compassionate response to the HIV/AIDS epidemic. And so since then, Simpa Community Care has been alongside Chattanooga and evolving with the community health needs here in the area.
Comprehensive community health care, what exactly does that mean?
Here at Simpa, you're able to access all the different kinds of services such as infectious disease care, primary care. We have a dental clinic, in-house specialty pharmacy, behavioral health services, support services, you name it. And so all these services are available in an affordable, compassionate, and high-quality way.
What does the future hold for a place like Simpa?
It's an exciting time here at Simpa Community Care. We're about to break ground on our facility next door, and folks and our patients can access all of the services that Simpa offers all in one place under one roof.
Simpa received another award recently, one of the top 10 healthcare providers in the country. Tell us about that.
This is the second year that we win top 10 healthcare quality provider here in the nation. And so that means due to our compliance, due to our high quality care and our technology, we're able to receive that award from HRSA for the second time.
Apollo, thanks for being with us.
It's time now for our Scholar Athletes of the Week, sponsored by Chattanooga Allergy Clinic. This week's honorees are Ira Grimes and Lila Warren. From Gordon Lee, Ira Grimes. Ira plays football and runs track for the Trojans. He scored 69 points last season and made the Walker-Catoosa Dream Team for football. His 4x800-meter track team placed 8th in the state. In the classroom, Ira carries a 4.0 GPA. He takes AP and dual enrollment classes and is ranked #1 in his class. He is in the National Honor Society, Key Club, HOSA, and FFA. He serves on the Student Council and the Junior City Council. He has never missed a day of school. Outside the classroom, Ira does volunteer work with the Ironman Triathlon and Samaritan's Purse and attends Elizabeth Lee Methodist Church. From Trion High School, Lila Warren. Lila lettered in soccer and volleyball for the Bulldogs. She is a captain on the volleyball team and part of the 2026 state champion soccer team. In the classroom, Lila carries a 4.0 GPA. She's a member of several clubs and organizations, including Beta Club, Mu Alpha Theta, Student Council, Spanish Club, and Future Business Leaders of America. Outside the classroom, Lila volunteers at Chattanooga County Animal Shelter and job shadows at Somerville Veterinary Clinic. She's also president of the Gardening Club. Congratulations to both Ira Grimes and Lila Warren. Students may be eligible for a $5,000 scholarship at the end of the season. The Scholar Athlete of the Week is sponsored by Chattanooga Allergy Clinic.
Hey, Sheldon. Can you let me know when you've got some highlights for me?
Ladies and gentlemen, the Gordon Lee.
Friday Night Rivals visiting with our friends at the Tennessee Army National Guard. I'm joined now by Sergeant Anderson. Sergeant Anderson is a former Central Purple Pounder who is now a part of the Tennessee Army National Guard. Sergeant, if you can, tell us a little bit about not only being a member of the Guard, but the opportunity to be able to serve your country and your community and do it all right here at home.
Hey, Chris, thanks for having me. I mean, it's awesome. I'm a father of 5, big family. So being able to accomplish one of the biggest dreams of mine and serve my country and my state and being able to come home every night to my family is just something I can't replace.
Father of 5, bless your heart, man. You need all the benefits the Guard can give. Tell us what those are.
I mean, one good thing that we just passed was the Tennessee National Guardsman Service Member Relief Act, which will give you the health care for free, essentially. So instead of paying for health care, I get it for free. And I get to pass all my education benefits that I don't use off to my family.
So you can get college paid for, you can get your health care taken care of, all by being a part of the Tennessee Army National Guard. Sergeant, appreciate your service and take care of that family.
Thank you so much.
All right, stay with us. We've got more to come here on Friday Night Rivals on the CW Chattanooga.
Drum major, Anna Lee Davis. Hey.
Ready.
to Major Anna Lee Davis. Is your band ready?
Thank you. Ready to roll. Okie dokie. So we've got one more break then before the kickoff. All right. Quake and I are ready.
The best Thursday night lights and Friday night rivals highlights from across the country.
Ron, nice cut move and a hurdle. He's still on his feet. Are you kidding me? Caleb Ron, touchdown. Oh my goodness, what did he just do?
He will roll right, under pressure, still on his feet, trying to find somebody downfield. He's in trouble. He'll throw it to the back of the end zone. A receiver's wide open. Touchdown, McQueen.
Michael Henry got his field goal blocked, caught it, and said, look what I found. Touchdown. In one of the most bizarre football plays you will ever see.
Pressure, throws it downfield to the middle of the field. What a catch, coming up and grabbing the ball.
Oh my goodness. I had no idea it was one-handed that he grabbed that thing and hauled it in.
Another rush, they're gonna throw the screen and it's intercepted. How about the big fella, Akeem Davis? Davis staying on his feet. Look at him go. Davis.
It's like a scrum.
They can't bring him down. Akeem Davis is still moving. At the 30, at the 25, he's stuck out of there. Are you kidding me, Akeem Davis? He is in for the touchdown.
55-yard field goal from the left hash. The kick is up, and it is. It's good at the buzzer. Bryant is the hero for the Buccaneers.
Back at Sam R. McCain Stadium at Clarence Blevins Field here in Trion as the Bulldogs and the Gordon Lee Trojans fight it out. It is the oldest continuous rivalry in the state of Georgia, Trion with a 14-7 lead at the half. Chris Goforth, Scott McMahon with you. Quake, let's get a look at some of those first half highlights.
Let's do it.
Both of these teams. Gordon Lee put together a heck of a drive to open this game. How about an 18-play drive? They methodically drive it downfield. It was 16 run plays. Here's one of the 2 pass plays. Look at that. This would go on to set up that first Gordon Lee touchdown. As you would see Dylan Curry scoot into the end zone on the end around for the score. Gordon Lee led 7-0 with less than 2 minutes to go first quarter. Trion comes back. Opening possession now for the Bulldogs. Link Allen does it with his arm and his leg. This 3-yard touchdown run would tie the game with 7:59 to go. And Trion would take the lead just before the half. 33 seconds left in the second quarter. Allen again, his second rushing touchdown, covering 5 yards, and that's how Trion has the 14-7 advantage. Now, Gordon Lee got the ball to begin the game. We'll see Trion to get the football to start this third quarter.
That's right. So if you're Gordon Lee, you have really got to have a defensive stop, a defensive stand, because you don't want to go down 2 scores and without possessing the football in the second half. If Trion can get in the end zone, obviously that makes it a big hill to climb because of what we talked about in the first half. You just the possessions are so limited that you got to score when you have them. You can't wait for the next one.
Well, and let me piggyback off that to say, and I mentioned it earlier, we have not had a turnover in this game tonight. Scott, you talk about possessions being a premium, you can't afford to give it away.
No, and that's shocking for the first game.
Yeah.
Right? First half, first game of the year, and you've got no turnovers so far?
How about some credit to both of these coaching staffs? I think we got two football teams tonight that have come out focused and ready to play this game.
Yep, and doing what they do well. Just stay inside of your identity as far as a football team goes, and you'll be successful. And that's what I'm sure they've preached all summer. But the execution for the first half of the first game of the year has just really been impressive on both sides.
Yeah, I think you're right. And look, I think this first possession of the second half, it's going to be key. It could set the tone for Trion.
Yep.
And if Gordon Lee can get the stop, it sets the tone for them as well.
100% right.
Let's do this again next week.
Hey, let's do it.
How about it?
Let's stay in Georgia.
We'll come over near your place.
Hey, you're welcome.
I think we could do this game from your back porch next week.
You could.
Right?
We could get Miss Jane to make some wings and all that stuff.
I'm liking it. I like that idea.
Right.
Everybody come to Quake's house for the game. Simpa Community Care Friday Night Rivals presented by North Georgia Toyota. We'll gather over at Quake's Place next Friday night. 7:30 we'll kick it off as Ringgold and Heritage. Again, what can we say? That's always a great game whenever they get together.
Yeah, it's just a beautiful thing about this rivalry is back in the day, everyone went to Ringgold. So when they built, population got bigger, they built Heritage High School, then it was like, you know what? We used to go to school with them. Now we hate them. Right. So it's talk about when you lose, it's hard to go to church on Sunday. That would be the same situation with Ringgold and the Heritage Generals.
Let's take a minute and say thank you to some of our sponsors: Simpa, Sockwell, Chattanooga Allergy Clinic, Songer Dentistry, Casey Custom Docks, Josh Houston and Associates, Dr. Pepper, Mr. Handyman of Chattanooga, and TVFCU. They make Friday Night Rivals possible. Glad to have them with us this year. Glad to have you with us as well. Looking forward to next Friday night. Again, we will be on My Network TV. We'll start it up at 7:30. Of course, you can catch the game streaming on ChattanoogaCW.com. You can also find it on YouTube. Scott, though, we've still got a half of football to play here in what's been a good game.
And, folks, if you get a chance to patronize our sponsors, we certainly would appreciate that, because if we didn't have that, those guys and gals, we certainly would not be having football on Friday nights on the CW. So they're as important as the players and the coaches on the field, for sure. So we appreciate it if you could use them when you're doing business.
Always. Juliana is down on the field. She'll have a conversation coming up with the head coach of the Gordon Lee Trojans in Josh Gross. It's our Josh Houston and Associates Coaches Corner. We'll get to that when we return. Coming back to Trion for the third quarter kickoff right after this. Simpa Friday Night Rivals presented by North Georgia Toyota on the CW Chattanooga.
Sounds good.
Track him down and bring him to me, because they're going to stand on the side. They're going to stay on the sideline. Yes. Juliana is going to go find him right now. They're just now taking the field.
Juliana's on her way to get coach.
No, not yet.
Yeah, I will. Oh, they may be ready. She's going to have to get him closer, though. They're coming.
Looks good right here. We got coach. We have coach.
14-7, Trion with a lead over Gordon Lee. Just about ready to get the third quarter underway. Before we do that, let's send it to the field. Juliana Getty standing by with the head coach of the Gordon Lee Trojans.
Coach Gross, there was a 10-minute drive to the game. Is that the plan tonight?
Biggest thing is, I mean, they're a very explosive offense. They do a lot of great things, you know, as far as formations that gives you a hard time. So we're doing our best to keep them off the field as much as possible.
How do you feel that your offense played the first half of the game?
Offense played great. Offense did great things. Defensively, we got to do a better job not shooting ourselves in the foot. You know, we had opportunities to get off the field and just did not take advantage of it.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Juliana Getty down on the field with the head coach of the Gordon Lee Trojans. And so basically, Scott, to answer the question that Juliana asked him is, yes, that is the plan, was a 10-minute drive to start this game. We're going to be slow and methodical and limit those possessions.
And it's smart because you've got new skill players, new to being starters in this rivalry. And why hurry it up? Because when you try and hurry up stuff, that usually is when mistakes are made and players aren't able to think exactly what their job is to do and get it done.
You know, he talked about the play of his defense shooting themselves in the foot. He is referring to a couple of encroachment penalties that really aided Trion on a couple of those scoring drives, Scott. That's something they have got to figure out, at least if Trion's going to drive downfield, make them earn it.
Right. And that's exactly right. I mean, you can't, and that was one where it was 3rd and 5. Boom, they jump, and now you're first down, right? I mean, so you've worked hard to get it into 3rd and 5, and then you give it to them. That'd make a coach's hair fall out all day long.
Ira Grimes has it teed up, and it will be Max Sagram, Landon Kimball back deep for Trion to return it. Bulldogs with the lead. They get the ball here to begin things in this third quarter. SIMPA Friday Night Rivals presented by North Georgia Toyota on the CW Chattanooga, and a little squibber to start the game, or start the second half at least.
Hans team, Hudson Thomas, was all over it now. But I'll tell you what, now Josh Gross rolling the dice a little bit. I think that's smart. You give them, really good field position, but if they're not ready for that, forget about this. They had last possession in the first half and get the first possession in the second half. If you could steal it away from them and something like that, an onside kick, I give them credit for trying it, to be honest with you, down 7.
Link Allen, the quarterback for Trion, he was tremendous in the first half. Landon Kimball showed off his hands, had a big catch down the field, setting up one of those 2 first-half touchdowns. And the screen. Down low, it's Kimball. Watch him go. First down and more. Down the near sideline. Kimball's got to go. Touchdown on the first play. Walking the tightrope, Scott.
Impressive from Landon Kimball. Catches the football out of the backfield. Real good. Patriot touchdown there for the Trion Bulldogs. Wow, that was impressive. Explosiveness. Right when he caught the football, he just knew he was just going to sprint down the sideline.
I kept waiting for a whistle.
Yeah.
I thought there's no way that guy can stay in bounds, but watch the footwork.
Look at his feet. He did a fantastic job, even on that one. Close to out of bounds, but no, in the end zone for the Trion Bulldogs.
56 yards on the screen. And now Trion's going to line up to go for 2. Allen.
Oh, they called him out. They called him out on that, the one at the very end where it was really close.
He did step out of bounds.
About the 10-yard line.
Take the touchdown off the board.
And, I mean, that was just the edge of his shoe, too.
Well, again, I go back. I thought there was no way that kid wasn't going to step out of bounds because
You're right, Chris. Way to go, buddy.
He was right there on it the whole way.
36-yard gain, 46-yard gain.
Still not bad.
Impressive, man.
Allen on the run on a second down. Now from the 11-yard line. It's a second down and goal to go situation. A minute gone, third quarter, and the play clock ticking down. And Trion has to take the timeout. The Trion coach is visibly upset at their offense as they come over off of the field. They had to burn the timeout. Here you go, Scott. Let's go get a look at it on this replay.
Timeout.
This is Kimball with the catch.
First hard timeout.
He's lined up as a receiver. Right down the sideline. Tight ropes it there and there. But then right here after the pursuit, right there, just on the edge of the out of bounds line.
Tell you what,
Dylan Curry was the guy who pushed him
if
out of bounds on the 20.
Scott, if he's wearing a 9.5 instead of a 10,
it's a touchdown.
It's a touchdown.
It looked like maybe his heel, too, that hit the sideline out of bounds right about the 13-yard line. 11, 12, 13, somewhere around in there. I don't care. That was still a heck of an athletic move by Landon Kimball, the 5'10", 180-pound junior.
Tight game now. Trion has to take a timeout due to a clock situation early in this third quarter.
You see Sean Patrick.
Oh, he was not
upset.
happy. He was not a happy guy down there at having to burn that timeout this early. Allen looking. Allen throwing, and it's incomplete. Put it up in the end zone. Intended receiver. Well, he had two guys there. Hudson Thomas was in the neighborhood and Landon Kimball. Look at it here on the replay. You'll see him. He had two potential targets.
He just kind of led either one of them a little too much. Yep, Hudson Thomas was the one that was probably the intended receiver.
Clock stops on the incomplete pass. Again, both of these offenses tonight have operated very deliberately. Josh Gross, the head coach at Gordon Lee, told us at the half that was the plan for his squad. Allen again on the screen with blockers out front. It's Kimball. This time he's in. Landon Kimball with the touchdown run.
The Patriot touchdown. There they get into the end zone. That'll ease Sean Patrick's nerves a little bit. Get another look at it. Just a nice little dump off screen. Great blocking by Hayden Woodlard, who is the center. Hayden Woolard, I should say. It's a nice block to kind of give him an edge to run around and untouched into the end zone.
Mesner Perez on to attempt the extra point. It is up and good, and it is 21-7. Trion with a lead over Gordon Lee. It was a 4-play drive. They go 66 yards. Landon Kimball pulls in the pass and motors into the end zone. Trion on top, 10:45 to go in the third. Gordon Lee ball when we return. Simple Friday Night Rivals presented by North Georgia Toyota on the CW Chattanooga. Bands usually take the third quarter off. so the tuba players can get something to eat. Trion with a 21-7 lead over Gordon Lee. 10:45 to go in the third. Landon Kimball pulls in the 11-yard pass from his quarterback in Link Allen. It's a 4-play, 66-yard drive. And Trion back in front from Sam R. McCain Stadium, Clarence Blevins Field. Quake, you mentioned it earlier. No track here. The stands are right on top of this field, and this group is, especially this student section down below us from Trion, they have been into it from the start.
You can hear everything that's said in the stands. Players are that close.
They've got a sign down there that says either stand up or go sit with your mama.
I love that.
Good atmosphere tonight.
Yeah, really good.
Good atmosphere. Good way to kick this season off.
We were told it was going to be a really, really good atmosphere, and it's lived up to the billing.
You know, here's a little trivia for you. You ready?
I'll try.
Do you know that the state of Georgia starts high school football? They actually, the GHSA, as we get this kickoff underway, and this is a high, booming kick, taken from the 5-yard line. On the return is Dawson Crane, and Crane gets out to the 30, and there's a penalty flag that comes out. Get a little extracurriculars going on after that play as well. We'll see what the penalty is. Our white hat tonight is Chuck Christopher.
During the return, holding on the receiving team. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down.
So the GHSA, they actually stepped in order to be able to play some high school games at Mercedes-Benz Stadium this year. As you see this return on the replay, the GHSA allowed them to start the season a week earlier in the state of Georgia. There is only one other state in the U.S. that starts the football season earlier than Georgia. Do you know where?
Oh, man, how about that? I'll go northern state because of the cold. Maine.
It's Hawaii.
Hawaii.
They start football. Week 1 of the regular season in Hawaii is the first week of August.
Wow.
Which begs the question, when do they go back to school?
I was about to say, I'm sure that hurricane disrupted some of that. Wow, I didn't realize that.
Big run. Oh. Gordon Lee. Hiram Hasty takes the handoff and finds room. He gets out to the 39.
Trojans needed that kind of momentum going down 21-7 here. Get another look at it. Hasty's got some good speed, but he just persistence on that carry.
Had a 75-yard run in their scrimmage last week. Picks up the first down. And here comes Logan Price. And Price gets a gain of 5, maybe 6. He's out to the 45-yard line. Scott, you want to feel like this Gordon Lee offense, maybe they've been challenged a little bit on that sideline.
I don't think there's any doubt Silas Mills is on the stop there for Trion, but you're exactly right. I mean, Coach gets them together and says, hey, look, guys, it's on you. You're the ones that are out there. You got to get it done. We'll call the plays we think can win for you, but the effort has to come from inside.
Bad snap. Gibson will have to fall on it back inside the 35.
With all that momentum on the last 2 plays, and now you basically give it all back. Way behind the sticks. Could be a
3rd down, 16.
I was about to say 3rd and 16. That's what it looks like.
Not the tackle for loss we've talked about tonight, but as far as the coaching staff at Trion goes, serving the same purpose.
Works the same. That's exactly right.
Get a team that wants to run it a lot behind the sticks. Here's Gibson to throw. Incomplete on the out route intended for Cooper Childs.
Fourth down.
And now it becomes 4th down, and Gordon Lee will have to punt. This will be our 2nd punt of the game. Both times it has been Gordon Lee. to kick it away. Braxton Daniel is the punter. Max Segram back at around the 35, hoping for a chance to be able to return this kick. Daniel.
Got a block.
Yeah, but he gets away a nice spiraling kick and a fair catch called for and made at the 36-yard line. Trion takes over, first down and 10. They'll start at their own 36 when we return. Bulldogs have the ball and a 21-7 advantage. Simpa Friday Night Rivals presented by North Georgia Toyota on the CW Chattanooga.
Appreciation to the fine folks at Jackson Realty for being the official sponsor of all Trion Bulldog touchdowns this season. Go see Trion alumni Tanner Hire for all your real estate needs. Jackson Realty is a proud supporter of Trion Athletics. Also a big thank you to Credit Union 1 for being the official sponsor of all Trion Bulldog extra points and field goals.
You sure about that?
Go see the nice
You got about 20 seconds to change it on me. Come on, Sheldon. Next week, we head to Ringgold as they host Heritage. We'll have all the action on My Network TV Chattanooga. We'll start at 7:30 next Friday night. You can stream the game on ChattanoogaCW.com or on YouTube. 21-7 our score tonight in the oldest continuous rivalry in the state of Georgia between Trion and Gordon Lee. These two have been going at each other for more than 90 years in football.
1933 was the first game, and then they took 2 years off for World War II in 1942 and 44. Other than that, they'll be playing football around here.
The jet sweep. It's Kimball, and he gets out to around the 45, maybe the 46. He gets 9, Scott, on first down.
Nice run. Again, just get out there to where it's super manageable. 2nd and 1. Coach is going to take all the time that they need to get into the right play call.
Trion last year, very inexperienced, had to play a lot of young kids. Allen in an empty set, he'll keep it. Runs right into the back of one of his blockers and is brought down. But I think you're seeing the benefits of playing those young guys from a season ago now for Trion. And look, you hear it at every level of football. When you can get that returning starter back at quarterback, it just makes a difference offensively.
No question, man. I mean, a big difference. A big difference. And that's one of the main reasons why Gordon Lee won in this rivalry last year. Because they had Dustin Day and Peyton Gross and all these other guys but the quarterback is so important at any level of football, high school, college, or NFL.
Link Allen on a 3rd down carry. Is that enough for the first down? It is. Move the sticks. And once again, they're able to convert on a 3rd down. That's something Josh Gross talked about down in his halftime interview with Juliana. The fact we got to get off the field on 3rd down.
Yep. Songer Dentistry first down. Sean Patrick, the Trion coach, knows that that's exactly what Gordon Lee wants to do. So they try to counter that with taking as much time as they possibly can.
Quick screen. It's Kimball again. He took it a long way last time. Gordon Lee there to wrap him up. They will push him back. Levi Mitchum, one of the first guys there to greet him. Mitchum last year took over in that linebacker spot at Gordon Lee after the Fannin County game that we had for you here on Friday Night Rivals. He started all 3 of their playoff games. He's coming back from an injury over the summer, and Mitchum working right now just defensively at linebacker. At some point, they're going to get him back on the field. He'll contribute this year at running back, but for right now, playing only on the defensive side. Nearly midway through the 3rd quarter. Trion with a lead. Bulldogs on the march here. Go with Lane Broom.
And I saw the rover for Gordon Lee, number 4. And yeah, he's coming out now. He's kind of limping on his ankle, like he got it up underneath that tackle 2 plays ago.
Scott, that's huge. That's Braxton Daniel, and he is a guy that punts. He is part of their return unit.
And a 3-year starter, too, so he's probably got the most experience of anybody on their defense. And now you see him getting attended to by the medical staff.
4 wides again, an empty backfield for Link Allen. He's got a wing to the left side. Play clock down to 2, down to 1. Look, I think the idea is you want to use some clock if you're Sean Patrick, but again, Scott, he was not happy. He's burned his second time out now, and there's still 5:51 to go in the third.
Right. I mean, they're only going to have 1 left for the entire second half. And as you mentioned, just barely under the, still half of the third quarter left.
Yeah, you got a quarter and a half to go, and you're down to just 1 timeout. And again, I think the feeling is, let's take our time, let's play slow, but you don't want to be that slow.
Right. You can't be slow enough that the clock's going to get you for a delay game penalty, or if you have to burn a timeout. But it's 3rd and 4, and that's a long 4, I think. So you may want to make sure that everybody's on the same page here too.
Mentioned it earlier about Trion coming off a win last week in an emotional scrimmage against Chattooga County. You don't see that often where scrimmages, number 1, draw that kind of crowd or have that much attention on it, but it was a big deal last week. Those 2 teams, Trion and Chattooga County, they don't often get together, and they did it last week, and Trion was able to come away with a win. Here's Allen, the throw over the middle, in stride, first down and more, inside the 30-yard line. Hudson Thomas made the catch. His head coach says he may be the best overall player on the team, and you see a glimpse of it there.
Yeah, Thomas is just really one of those solid players. What a slant little move he had to get open. Hudson Thomas, 6 feet, 195-pound senior. 60-yard touchdown in the scrimmage that you were talking about last week against Chattooga.
7th play of this drive coming up for Trion. With a first down at the Gordon Lee 29. On the end around, finding some room. Making the cutback quickly on the inside. Landon Kimball again. Check that, it was Max Segram.
Let's look at it again. And it looked like, yeah, it was. Number 1, Gavin Gibson, their quarterback, is the one that made the hit, made the tackle. Keep him out of the end zone. Songer Dentistry first down once again for the Trion Bulldogs.
Back inside the Dr. Pepper Maroon zone with a first down and 10 at the 14-yard line. We're under 5 minutes to go in the third. Allen, the keeper. Allen on his feet at the 5. Allen with a pylon, and he will go down. Is it a touchdown?
Sure did look like it. Link Allen hits the ground, worn out.
They're going to mark him down at the 1-yard line.
I guess he had his knee.
First down and goal. Here comes the replay.
Get a good look at it here. Nice spin right there to keep his balance.
Oh, I don't know, Quake.
Looks like a touchdown to me, but hey, the one thing we want to stir up is that there is no replay in high school. So it's all with the naked eye in real time.
They've changed the ruling. It's a touchdown.
There you go. And that's the right ruling. I mean, that's all anybody wants is get it right. Link Allen, what effort. Once again, the 6'1" long guy with the length gets it stretched out over the goal line for the touchdown.
Bad snap. They'll try for 2. It's Allen, reverse and field. If he can get to the corner, he may take it. Allen throws. Caught! 2-point conversion is good. Link Allen making the catch and the throw to Asher Clark.
Asher Clark, not a starter, but certainly was on special teams on that. Just worked his way to the left side of the end zone, got open, and look at everybody giving him a high five. He was Johnny on the spot for that one. That was nice. Asher Clark, and really, let's credit Link Allen for just improvising and making it happen. Runs to the right, doesn't think he has something, comes back, trying to pick up a block. And then all of a sudden, just a little flip of the wrist to a wide open Asher Clark.
If he could have gotten around, that was Sean Harms-Benefell that was standing between Link Allen and the end zone there as he broke it back to the far side of the field. If Harms-Benefell, if he can beat Harms-Benefell to the corner, he might have been able to run it in on his own.
But what a gutty quarterback in Link Allen. I think he has absolutely put it on the line tonight.
Well, Asher Clark's going to have a story to tell in this rivalry one day, won't he?
Yes, he will. They will not take that history away from you, Mr. Asher Clark. And let's just kind of put it in perspective, too. Now, Gordon Lee moved up to AA this year, but Georgia, they do things a little bit different. They've been experimenting with things at the single A level. So Trion has been a single A squad out of Region 7. So seven single A. Gordon Lee's moved up to 7, Region 7 AA. But it's still, this is single A football. If you look at, you compare it to the state of Tennessee, the Sockwell kickoff here.
Return from inside the 5, finds a lot of room out across the 25, stays on his feet, he'll dance. Now dropped around the 26-yard line. It was Cooper Childs on the return.
Cooper Childs and a host of Bulldogs getting him on the ground. Not after he did make a nice return of the kickoff.
Well, now, if you're Gordon Lee, you came into this third quarter, you were down a score, it was 14-7. All of a sudden you blink and you find yourself down 3 scores. Look at this.
Just the creativity and from Link Allen, making it happen. Just that's all it is, making it happen. Giving the team enough time to find somebody wide open. And there he is. Behind the defense, really nobody around.
Gordon Lee takes over at their own 26-yard line. Gibson's got all kinds of time. He'll air it out up top, overthrows his intended receiver down the far side of the field. Pass was intended for Cooper Sane. Well, let's see if there's a little bit of a philosophical change offensively now for Gordon Lee after playing kind of slow in this.
Kind of have to, right?
In this game thus far, they come out throwing on a first down. Now it's 2nd and 10, again from their own end of the field. 1-score game at the half. Gordon Lee has had the ball twice tonight, and they have scored both times. As a matter of fact, Gordon Lee has had 4 possessions in this game. That's it, 4 possessions. They've got 4 touchdowns. In trouble is Hasty, and Hasty is stacked up and then driven back.
Coleman Lee. A little too much for the referee's liking.
Coleman Lee, the most experienced linebacker.
And Hayden Lynham is pleading his case, but Coleman Lee just a little too much activity after the whistle.
And once again, the head coach at Trion and Sean Patrick.
Foul. Defense. 15-yard penalty.
Sean Patrick was out on the numbers to make sure his guys did not get into anything.
That push at the end, that shove at the end from Coleman Lee. And I'll just say it, you're a senior, you can't do that. You've got to stop yourself from doing that. You're a leader out there. And you all just look so good on two plays that had them way behind the sticks. Now, because you lose your cool a little bit, you give them a first down
Not just giving them a first down, Scott. You're going to bring the football out to the 41-yard line now. And what would have been basically a third and forever situation. Now you're back in a 1st and 10 with 4 minutes remaining in the third. And we've got an official's timeout. And our referee, Chuck Christopher, he's headed towards the Trion sideline. He'll have a word with the head coach. So what we've talked about how rowdy this crowd is. Someone here has air horns, and they're blowing the air horn, and that's what this is happening. So the referees, they have stopped this game until they can find the air horns and remove those.
Can't you see that earlier this afternoon? Pulling into the Dollar General, and you go, hey, look, that's an air horn. Let's get that for the game, all right? I mean, a lot of these students don't know what the rules are or don't even care, really, but it can't cost their team a penalty.
Have we ever had that happen before?
I don't think so. I don't think so. We've been doing these Friday Night Rival games for 12, 13 years. I think that's the first I've ever. And we've heard air horns and boat horns and things like that before.
Never had an official stop the game like that before. 1st down and 10 for Gordon Lee now at their own 41. Here's Gibson. He's going to throw. He's got a man on the far sideline. It's caught. Could he stay in bounds, though? It's incomplete.
Well defended by Max Segram, 5'8", 130, and coach described him as very physical. He showed it on that play because the Gordon Lee receiver was catching it, but Segram had enough presence about him to drive him out of bounds. It was Cooper Childs who, frankly, made the catch, but Max Segram pushed him out of bounds, so he couldn't establish the possession in bounds. Incomplete.
Gibson to the corner, slides out of bounds.
Quarterback number 1, Gibson, ran out of bounds on the far sideline.
So that will set up a long yardage situation, 3rd down and 8. And Gordon Lee has not been good in 3rd down situations in this game.
Look this matchup right here. Carson Clark, the 6'3", lengthy guy for Gordon Lee versus T.K. Smith. On the outside.
Gibson to throw. Diving for it over on that far sideline, making the catch. They'll say it was completed. Cooper Childs made the catch, and a heck of an effort by Childs. Now the fans here on the home side not real happy about that. Let's get a look at it on
the turf for the Songren Industry 1st down. That is, again, as close as you're going to get. You got to make a call on that. No replay.
Here's Hasty. Hasty fights his way. Gang tackle there. Hudson Thomas leading the charge. A lot of time still left in this game, Scott. We've got the 4th quarter to play. We've still got 3 minutes, but this drive for Gordon Lee feels big.
Yes, it does. They got to have this. Got to have it because of momentum more than anything.
Gibson on the keeper, and Gibson, quarterback with a physical run straight ahead.
Ooh, that was,
gets to the 40-yard line. He'll be shy of the 1st down, brings up another 3rd down, but this time it's going to be a 3rd down, maybe 3.5, 4 yards needed for the first. Scoreboard says 3rd and 3. We'll go with that.
Nice fake right there. Pulls it out of the belly of Hasty and then takes off. You had Owen Martz in on the tackle. Nice group tackling from the Bulldogs defense.
Hasty stays in. He's on the right hip of his quarterback. Gibson in trouble. Slips away. Throws. Wide open, making the catch.
That's Hasty.
Hasty is in. Touchdown, Gordon Lee. Penalty flag back at the 35-yard line. Hold on a minute.
What a heck of a play by Gavin Gibson. Defender all in his face. Defense lost track of Hiram Hasty on the left sideline. It could be all for naught.
Scott, there is also a penalty flag laying in the end zone as well. So you've got 2 flags down on this play. What a catch by Hiram Hasty coming out of the backfield. He was all alone, and how Gibson got rid of that ball in time.
Have 2 fouls on the offense. Ineligible receiver downfield on the offense. That penalty was enforced from the previous spot. After the play was over with, unsportsmanlike conduct on the offense. That penalty will also be enforced.
That is brutal. You talk about a momentum shift. Holy cow. I mean, it's, dude, I don't even want to try and guess, but you're right, man. He just worked his way into a little spot that he could get rid of the football.
So take the touchdown off the board. Assess 2 penalties against Gordon Lee. And they are still walking this penalty off. Back across midfield, the ball will go back to the 40-yard line. 3rd down 23. 3rd and 24. 2 minutes to go in the 3rd. Gordon Lee with a self-inflicted wound. Gibson pressured. Gibson in trouble, and he's sacked.
Wow.
Gibson dropped back at the 32.
Hudson Thomas really pursued him. Senior defensive end, number 0. He bared the pressure down on Gavin Gibson. Right there you see it.
Gordon Lee has had the football twice in this second half. Both possessions will end in a punt. Now they're going to let this clock tick down as far as they can. Play clock down to 3, down to 2, down to 1. Take the delay of game, or did we get the timeout call? We'll get the penalty for the delay of game.
Delay of game on the offense. 5-yard penalty remains 4th down.
Well, if Max Segram gets an opportunity, Scott, at any kind of a return, he's standing at about the 45-yard line right now. If he gets any kind of return, there is a great chance that Trion will start this drive in plus territory. The keeper, Braxton Daniel. Daniel cut down in open field, but another penalty flag back at the 30-yard line. Hold on, he's well shy of the 1st down.
Holding on the kicking team. That penalty is declined. Result, 1st down.
I'm not so sure that was a called fake punt attempt, Scott. He had 2 defenders on him quickly. Get a look at it here on the replay. Watch how quick they get possession.
Yeah, he was afraid he could get blocked, right? And then just took off. Of course, as you've been talking about it all night, I mean, that's Braxton Daniel. He's one of your more athletic players. Yeah, I wouldn't see that you can think you could make a 4th and 35 or whatever it was.
Quake, everybody loves a good high school band. We got 2 good ones here tonight. That's a look at our band camp, sponsored by Simpa. Fans have had a good time tonight. Allen comes up throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Link Allen aiming for his running back and Landon Kimball.
Kimball had his step on the defender. He just didn't have kind of the right angle. Take more of a slant to it instead of just a straight down the hash mark type of route. But anytime you run that type of thing, it's going to be contact. I mean, you can't expect the defense to not, even if they're not holding you or grabbing you, you're side by side with the defender.
That's Kimball. To the right of his quarterback, Link Allen. Allen on the keeper. Nice job sealing the corner. Link Allen inside the 30. He'll get down to the 29 and a first down for Trion. Davis Eldridge made the stop. Under a minute to go in this third quarter.
And there is no urgency at all from Trion. They'll have to snap it once. Play clock's at 25. But they won't have to snap it twice.
What should be the final play of this third quarter. Kimball runs right into the Gordon Lee defense. He is swarmed over and knocked down. Looks like Logan Price may be in on the stop. And that will do it. That is the final play of the third quarter. We head to the fourth in the oldest continuous rivalry in the state of Georgia. Trion with a 29-7 lead over Gordon Lee. We'll return back to Sam R. McCain Stadium and Clarence Blevins Field at Trion High School. After this on Simpa Friday Night Rivals presented by North Georgia Toyota on the CW Chattanooga. Yes, sir. Are we doing a player here? Well, fine. I'm not doing anything coming back. Just going to sit here. Trion leading Gordon Lee 29-7 as we start the fourth quarter of play. You go all the way back to the start of this game. Gordon Lee had a 18-play drive. Took 10 minutes and 1 second off the scoreboard clock. Led this game 7-0. Trion, Scott, has scored 29 unanswered.
Oh, man. That is so impressive for what Trion's been able to do. And like we have been saying the whole time, methodically, just do it. Take advantage of what the defense is giving you. whether that be run or pass, and then put in the end zone. Link Allen's been a big reason for that.
Allen comes up throwing, and it's incomplete over the middle. Pass was intended for Dawson Crane. Third down and long for Trion. Allen on the keeper. Allen.
You're going to get it.
Caught from behind and pulled down. Penalty flag comes out. Not before, though. He picks up the third down, but this may be coming back on a hold.
Holding on the offense. 10-yard penalty. Complete. Second down.
This was a pretty well-played game in the first half. You had both teams kind of playing a ball control. We didn't have a ton of penalties in the first half. Now the second half here has been a different story. Still no turnover in this game. And Trion now faced with a third down and 20. Ball goes back to the Gordon Lee 39-yard line. Allen. Oh, he's got time. He's going to take a shot downfield, throws it up, and it's incomplete. Put it up into double coverage.
Yeah, that was intended for T.K. Smith. Just couldn't come down with the football.
Smith had a big catch downfield earlier. As you get a look at the replay here from Simpa Community Care, it was Connor Jenkins among those back in the secondary. As a matter of fact, I think it was Jenkins that knocked it down. So fourth down, and for the first time tonight, Trion is going to punt it away. And the Bulldogs, hey, first time punting this season. You got to get the right guys on the field. And the punt is away. And it takes a big Trion bounce and goes down inside the 5-yard line. Mark it down at around the, looks like about the 4, maybe the 5-yard line. Either way, Gordon Lee is going to take over, backed up deep in their own territory.
Good hustle by that Trion special teams.
11:23 to go in the game. Trion with a 29-7 lead. Simpa Friday Night Rivals presented by North Georgia Toyota on the CW Chattanooga. Which drive is it?
Because I had some really good shots at that touchdown. I was like, it was money. It was right there.
29-7 our score. It was a 14-7 game at the half, and that brings us to our drive of the game from North Georgia Toyota. Take a look at this. Landon Kimball takes the screen, and he will scoop. He thought he might get into the end zone. He ends up his heel touching out. And so it sets up a short yardage situation. They go back to Kimball again, and this time he'll make sure he gets into the end zone. That would cap off a 4-play drive covering 66 yards. That would put Trion up 21-7, and that is our drive of the game presented by North Georgia Toyota.
Pretty impressive, and they have been all night. Link Allen, Kimbrell. Just the total team effort. The offensive lines played well. Brantley Anderson had that big catch. T.K. Smith we've talked about.
Sean Patrick, the head coach at Trion, look, he talked about the experience that his team has. He feels like that is maybe their biggest strength right now, is he's got a bunch of guys that played a lot of football last year. They took their lumps last year, but they were able to play a lot of football. His concern was kind of blocking out the noise, and I think his guys have done a pretty good job of that tonight.
Oh, yeah, no question. I mean, you can tell that loss last year to their arch rival just that was a wound for about 364 days. Now, they were focused on getting this win tonight.
Gibson to throw, pass is complete, and he is wrestled down as soon as he makes that catch. It's a short grab.
Silas Mills on the stop, one of the Trion Bulldogs on the stop. They're able to pick up 5, so 2nd and 5.
Pass was caught by Calder Willingham. Just trying to get a little bit of breathing room. Still inside their own 10-yard line. On the ground, they try the left side. And a nice job there, stopping Hasty in his tracks. Is that
Cam Haynes?
Yeah, that defensive front.
6 feet tall, 230 pounds, big, hard to move. Haynes got those paws at number 66 right there. You saw him get those paws on him and wasn't about to let it go. You put Haynes at 230, and then you got John Carlos Morales at 240 pounds, who's right beside him, number 74. It's an imposing defensive front.
Gibson, he's got time. Throws, broken up. Incomplete pass intended for Cooper Childs.
Max Sagram with the nice defensive effort.
Max Sagram brings it 4th down, 5.
So 4th down and 5 for Gordon Lee. Let's see what the Trojans elect to do as clock stops on the incomplete pass. Nearly 2 minutes gone in this 4th quarter.
That's a really good throw by Gavin Gibson. That's just well played again by Max Sagram to knock it out of his hands before the receiver could possess it all the way to the ground.
Braxton Daniel will be punting from his own end zone. You see the play clock behind him winding down. And there's the snap with 2 on the play clock, and Daniel gets away. A punt that is going to take a very favorable bounce for the Trojans and will roll dead at the 45-yard line.
That's a pretty good punt, all things considered. Shadow of your own goalpost. Like you said, the play clock winding down, and it's not like he boomed it, but it was good enough with the roll to get past midfield. Pretty much around the 45.
In the box score tomorrow, that's going to look booming.
Yeah, exactly. That's all that matters, right?
You're able to, in a situation where the fear is you're going to give a team with a 3-touchdown lead, you're going to give them the ball back in plus territory. At least now you make them start on their own end of the field at the 45. $29 unanswered in this game for Trion. Gordon Lee led 7-0 after a 10-minute drive to start the game. Empty backfield for Allen. And the quarterback keeper straight ahead.
So to me, this is to chew clock and put them out of their misery possession. Because if you're able to score, if you're trying and you're able to score here and go up 36-7, there is not much Gordon Lee can do.
I don't know, you got a 10-minute drive in the playbook. I mean, as you got the, not a 2-minute drive, but a 10-minute drive.
Right.
Can you pull that off?
Well, who knows? Maybe they can. Gordon Lee did it at the first of the game, right?
I would expect we'll see a steady diet of Link Allen.
Yes.
Coleman Lee in the H.
Just get 4 or 5 yards a pop, and they'll be super happy with that.
Coleman Lee will lead the charge. Now Allen reverses. Allen finds room. Allen 40 and out of bounds and around the 30. And there comes the late hit and the flag out of bounds.
There you go. And like we talked about, you see how close that wall is to the sideline?
It's dangerous.
That's dangerous when you get shoved a late hit out of bounds type thing. Yeah, let's get another look at it. He's rolling right, then he just changes direction, running full speed. I'm not trying to be too critical, but he probably should have just slid, stayed in bounds, got down. The clock would have kept running, and you don't have the chance of getting hurt like that.
Dead ball. Personal foul. Late hit out of bounds. Against the defense. 15-yard penalty. First down.
See, if he just slides like he's sliding into second, right about there, then you don't take that chance, and that was a late hit. He tried to pull up at the last second, but they're going to call that every time, especially with the walls as close as they are to the sideline.
Wildcat for Landon Kimball, straight ahead inside the Dr. Pepper maroon zone. He'll bully down to the 5-yard line.
Churning, keeping those legs going into the Dr. Pepper maroon zone.
And I think if you're trying, it gets that clock running again.
Ball will be spotted at the 6-yard line.
Bulldogs with a chance to put it away here against their arch rivals. They stay in the Wildcat. This will be a direct snap back to Kimball. And Kimball to the left side, caught from behind and spun down. I think it was Sean Harms-Benefell that was able to grab him from behind.
Odd looking formation where they start with a hole in the middle of the offensive line.
Yeah, kind of a little bit of a wide split there between the center and the left guard, and he ran towards that hole.
But if you got two guys that are lined up straight head on head to the offensive lineman, and that gap's that big, why not?
All right, Link Allen back in. And we've got a timeout that is asked for by Gordon Lee. So the Trojans will stop it with 7:29 to go.
Timeout, Gordon Lee.
Trion facing a second down and goal to go from the 3-yard line. They look for more. And a touchdown here would put this one further out of reach. Trion looking to go to 1-0 on the season. Gordon Lee with a loss tonight. They would fall to 0-1. They'll get ready to face Ridgeland at home next week. Good crowd on hand tonight for this one. It has been all that it was built to be.
You got a nice little tailgating area behind the home bleachers and just everything that is great about high school football.
We're headed to Ringgold next Friday night. Heritage at Ringgold, 7:30. Different channel next week. My Network TV will have it. Of course, you can always find the game on the ChattanoogaCW.com. You can always find us on YouTube as well. Last couple of years, that game between Ringgold and Heritage has been
a barn burner.
They have indeed.
Remember last year it ended where the receiver catches the ball and kicks the pylon but never put his foot in, on the turf. So the home crowd, Heritage thought that it was a touchdown because he hit the pylon.
Link Allen tried to leap into the air. He was hit in the air, and he comes down in the end zone. He bounced right off Connor Jenkins and found the end zone.
Again, Link Allen just having one heck of a night, one heck of a debut as far as his senior year. Starter last year, as we mentioned a couple times, but he has just got the leadership quality that you like. I love his body language out there. And then he goes out and produces.
Mesner
now
Perez.
I'll hold for the extra point.
Mesner Perez on to attempt the extra point. It's up. And it is good. 36-7. Trion on top of Gordon Lee. Stay with us. We've got 7:24 remaining. Gordon Lee ball when we come back. Simple Friday Night Rivals presented by North Georgia Toyota on the CW Chattanooga. Yeah, I'm ready. Oh, come on. Change it on me now. You got time. I love you, Sheldon. Trion with a 36-7 lead over Gordon Lee. 7:24 to go in the fourth. Chris Goforth, Scott McMahon with you. Quake, how about 36 unanswered tonight by Trion?
It's been pretty impressive. You know, the Trion offense and what Coach Sean Patrick has been able to do with Link Allen and Landon Kimball. You know, both the quarterback and the running back have had impressive nights. And just credit to the offense and defensive lines. I mean, they just were focused on this game, wanted to get this because it's their big non-region rival. And they wanted to right the wrong that happened last year with Gordon Lee get the victory up in Chickamauga.
So Gordon Lee set to get the football back. Go back to the start of this game. They led 7-0 after they put together a 10-minute, 1-second drive that was 18 plays. They marched downfield. They punched it in from a yard out. Here's our Sockwell kickoff. But it has been all Trion since that time. Gordon Lee dropped the kickoff. And they will be able to recover it. It was Einer Smith who dropped it and then was able to fall on it. All right, let's get to our play of the game tonight. This is actually what turned into a two-point conversion after a touchdown back on the opening drive of the, check that, it was in the third quarter, so about 4.5 remaining. And the snap gets botched, and Link Allen just works a little magic, working his way around. He'll find Asher Clark in the end zone for the two-point conversion, but it has been that kind of night for Trion.
And ladies and gentlemen, that is exactly why a lot of high school coaches like to have their quarterback as the holder on extra points and on field goals. In case it is a bad snap, the quarterback's not going to freak out. He's just going to try and turn it into a positive play, just like Link Allen did for our play of the game.
Gavin Gibson on the keeper. Gibson will pick his way up to about the 34-yard line. Scott, if you're Gordon Lee, you may be looking for some positives in this game. I think if you go back to the first half, as we've got a Trion player shaking up, that's our first cramp of the night, by the way. Comes with 7 minutes to play.
Those are prevalent in August football as well.
If you're Gordon Lee, I think if you go back to the first half, there's some positives that you can take away from what you saw. To the point that Josh Gross made down on the field when he was talking with Juliana earlier, it is about shooting themselves in the foot. They have done enough self-inflicted damage tonight as anything that Trion has done to them.
So the old adage, right? Your football team improves from the most between game 1 and game 2. So I'm sure that Josh Gross and his offense coordinator, Jason Campbell, they'll go back and look at film and just pour over that and figure out how they can clean up their mistakes to move on through the regular season and into the region play.
Second down, 6 from their own 34.
Hey, where the hell are you going?
Gibson takes a shot. Jump ball intercepted. That's our first turnover of the game.
Smith again, TK Smith, all around the ball. Really good hands. And coach is telling us he's had the best off season. Got great speed, and all you saw right there, he can get off the ground a little bit too. Big lift for TK Smith, the junior, 5'7", 135 pounds.
6:43 left to go. We get our first turnover. Put it up for grabs, and TK Smith. Scott, looked like you in your old Hickson High uniform going up for a rebound.
Right.
Back in the day, out jumping a guy.
Yeah. Thank God we don't have to see those short shorts anymore. That's for sure. No, but he got off the ground. I mean, that
Some
was
hops.
impressive, man. Yeah, big time hops.
Lane Broom in as a running back now for Trion. We've seen him in some limited duties tonight. We may see steady diet of him here as penalty flag comes out.
And that's obviously what you're going to try and do is work on somebody.
Prior to the snap, encroachment on defense, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
That's the kind of stuff that Josh Gross is going to have a fit over in film study. But you're trying to get somebody, develop some depth behind Landon Kimball and Lane Broom, a junior, and he's got some experience, but let's get him more experience and kind of feature him in a drive to try to get this victory. Let him have a couple carries for Lane Broom, the junior running back.
Here comes Broom. Across midfield, he'll take it into Gordon Lee territory on a 1st and 5. Sets up a 2nd down and short. Broom, not a big kid, certainly not the size that Landon Kimball has, but Broom, not a guy that's afraid of contact. Midway through the 4th quarter, 36-7. Trion has scored on every possession tonight but one. They have punted one time in this game. And we've got a change at quarterback now for Trion. It's Brant Hodge, a 9th grader. And Hodge
promptly drops it as soon as you said that.
Miss exchange on the handoff.
You were trying to give him such an awesome intro, right? And then a loss of concentration. Certainly wasn't the snap. That's perfect. A little nervous out there, as you said. 9th grader.
Hodge again bobbles it. He'll pick it up and his knee touched.
That's just going to be a little too nervous. You can't do that in back-to-back plays. But again, a freshman, I mean, this is his first night of ever playing high school football. Gets in there against the big rival, and man, your nerves and stomach's got to be churning, so he'll only get better from here.
4th down, only the 2nd time tonight for Trion to punt. Gordon Lee will have one man back deep in Cooper Childs.
Dang, that's a nice punt.
That's a beautiful punt. Here comes Childs calling for and making the fair catch at the 10-yard line. So Gordon Lee once again starts a drive backed up deep. They'll begin from around their own 10. 4:19 to go in this game. One of the new changes in Georgia high school football, Scott, that I think we'll all have to try to get used to is the way the seeding is going to happen for the playoffs in the state of Georgia. Region finish no longer matters now. They're going to go with a postseason ranking formula that is basically your winning percentage times your opponent's winning percentage times their opponent's winning percentage, if you could follow me.
There's going to be, I can barely, but there's going to be controversy on that one.
Always.
Guaranteed.
Always.
Guaranteed.
Always. As a matter of fact, there was an article earlier this summer as Gordon Lee goes on the ground at Hiram Hasty. There was an article this summer in the AJC where they kind of talked about, all right, what would if we used this formula last year, what would it have looked like? And the findings did not sit well with a lot of folks when they went back and kind of reseeded all the teams based on this formula.
Is that, I mean, do you think it's because of regions being too big or something? I mean, why would it not be everybody play everybody and the one with the best record?
Now look here, Gordon Lee finds a guy to get to the corner. That's Kobe Ball, the sophomore, and Ball gets dumped hard in the open field, but he picks up the common spirit. First down. How about TK Smith laying the lumber?
He did. Not only make that big interception, but man, he absolutely laid the lumber, as you said. Gordon Lee with the run there, Kobe Ball, and then TK with the tackle. He's feeling it tonight.
You know, we've seen over the years with our involvement in Tennessee high school football, we've seen some goofy stuff to try to determine playoff seeding over the years. Again, they go back to Ball, and the sophomore, a tough runner to the 49-yard line.
I mean, one of the biggest things people complain about with the TSSAA is you could be an 0-10 team in a 4-team region and you still make the playoffs.
So I think maybe that has something to do with this playoff formula that they have created. It's also about, look, you're going to play, or you're going to choose to play better teams this way because their winning percentage is going to matter, and the winning percentage of the teams they play is going to matter.
Right, so maybe it will encourage better matchups.
Back of the ground, close to the first down, and he picks up the first down. 2:26 to go. Hasty with the carry. Ball comes back in as Hasty exits. Late game situation like this for Gordon Lee, it's a chance to work on you for a minute. Not necessarily worrying too much about scheme or matchup so much as you are just trying to get your guys involved. Sane goes in motion, and the screen thrown to Sane up top. Sane gets inside the 40-yard line. He'll be close to a first down.
That was a really good cut for Sane, like you said, and you know, you're executing seeing yourself have success. You know, the scoreboard's going against you. You still have that confidence of knowing you can run this player, that player, whatever, and feel more confident about it.
Well, Gavin Gibson just checked out, so we're going to see a backup quarterback now for Gordon Lee, or at least a Wildcat situation. Oh, he'll hand it off. It's Ball. Blake Boyd that took the snap at quarterback. You don't see too many 28s.
No, he's listed as a wide receiver, defensive back, but maybe they feel he is a sophomore, so maybe they feel like he could be the heir apparent at the quarterback position.
Final few seconds. There's Ball. He's got the first down. Hard running inside the 35-yard line. Trion, 36 unanswered tonight. Coaching staff will feel good about that when they sit down to look at film tomorrow. Bulldogs will go to 1-0. Gordon Lee, they fall to 0-1. And for Gordon Lee, still some questions maybe to be answered for them. After a team last year that lost 90% of their offensive production, 2 1,200-yard rushers and a quarterback that threw 21 touchdown passes last year. They will not have to snap it again, and there is your ball game. The oldest continuous rivalry in the state of Georgia goes way of the Trion Bulldogs.
Loved it. Loved seeing the rivalry. Loved seeing the intensity. Stands filled on both sides. Gordon Lee's group coming from Chickamauga, and of course Trion happy to be at home and look good doing it.
Yeah, what a way to kick off the season for both of these squads. What a way to kick it off for us, our first time here. And Scott, I hope this isn't our last Trion Gordon Lee matchup. This has been fun. Wouldn't mind seeing this one again down the road. Trion a winner tonight, 36-7. Stick around. We have got more on our post-game report. Juliana Getty will be with the winning coach of the Trion Bulldogs, Sean Patrick, when we return. You're watching the SIMPA Friday Night Rivals presented by North Georgia Toyota.
We're getting you and the coach. What do I gotta say? I ain't very good at this. It's all right, you don't gotta be. I'm getting you and the coach. I just want to get you and the coach, though. When y'all get up in the circle. Let's go, big line. Go ahead and get the coach.
Sheldon, we're going to do player of the game here.
Yeah, I'm going to get out of their way. Let's do this thing.
Okay. All right, we are in the middle of the alma mater. I'm not going to remember all this, so just tell me what to do next. $36-7. That's our final score tonight as Trion defeats Gordon Lee on the opening night of SIMPA Community Care. Friday Night Rivals presented by North Georgia Toyota here on the CW Chattanooga. That is one happy Bulldog. We can look at the scoring summary. It was a 7-7 game in the first half. Gordon Lee actually scored first. They led 7-0, but it was 36 unanswered for Trion as the Bulldogs roll to a 36-7 win tonight. Juliana Getty, she is standing by down on the field. Not only does she have the head coach, the winning head coach from the Trion Bulldogs, head coach Sean Patrick, she's got our player of the game with her as well. Juliana.
This is so exciting. Coach Patrick, in the second half, what steps were taken to pull off this big of a win?
Well, credit goes to our kids and our coaching staff. You know, first off, all credit goes to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Without him, we're nothing here. But credit to the kids and the coaching staff, man. They did a phenomenal job. They did a good job defensively of getting off the field on third downs. Offensively, we did a really good job of taking what they got us. This guy right here put us in the right spot and made some heck of a plays with his arms and his legs. And, you know, all credit goes to our coaches and our kids, man. They did a phenomenal job. So proud of them. Huge win for our kids, huge win for our program, huge win for our community.
How proud of you of your guys?
What's that?
How proud of you are you? How proud of you are? Oh, my gosh. How proud of you are? Oh, my gosh. I think you know it.
I'm
Yeah.
really proud
I think you know it.
No, I'm really proud of them. I'm happy for them. You know, this is a rivalry game last year that we fell short in. So for these seniors, this is a big moment for them. So happy for them, so proud of them. And it's something that hopefully can propel us throughout the season.
Thanks, Coach.
Absolutely.
Congratulations.
All right. Juliana Getty down on the field with a winning head coach and Sean Patrick, and that is our player of the game. Link Allen, he did it every which way he could tonight. He's our player of the game. That's sponsored by SIMPA. As you see, him work. Scott, we said it earlier. That was one of the keys. Let Link cook, and boy, did he.
Yes, there is no doubt. He was fantastic. I mean, just as a leader on the ground, through the air. I mean, it was a little bit of everything from Link Allen tonight. Very, very impressive.
Juliana Getty is down on the field still with our player of the game. Link Allen. Juliana.
Link, how excited are you for this win?
I'm so excited. After coming off the loss last year, my first start, I didn't do too well, and just being able to come back my senior year and beat them with a blowout feels great.
Do you have a favorite memory of tonight?
Probably my touchdown, my diving touchdown in the end zone over here in this corner. That's my favorite memory from tonight.
Thanks, Link. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Chris, Scott, back to you.
All right, thank you very much. Link Allen, he got it done tonight. He was fantastic. That is about as good. Look, if he was cooking tonight, it might not have been steak, Scott. I tell you, it was more meat and potatoes from him tonight.
I like
but
that.
He was able to get it done.
Working man chef.
Boy, it was some tough yardage for him tonight. We've got another good one coming up next Friday night as we head to Ringgold. Heritage at Ringgold. We'll kick it off at 7:30 Eastern Time next Friday night. Be with us over on My Network TV. And we look forward to that one. Scott, it's always a great one. Some final thoughts from you as we get out of here on this Friday night.
So glad we could have this on television. I mean, the game wasn't the greatest game of all time, but certainly the setting, the fan base, and the rivalry was everything that I'd expect it to be. It was
Simpa,
awesome.
Friday Night Rivals, presented by North Georgia Toyota on the CW Chattanooga. We'll see you next week at Ringgold.